Hello again, my friends. This is Paul Jester from Crimson Carnival, and in today's video, we are going to talk about WWE's 2K release game. They have announced for 2K17 that Brock Lesnar will be the cover star. Now, for this momentous event, because as a lot of people know, I'm a massive fan of wrestling. For this momentous event, I called in some assistance. So we are joined today by my friend from Dave's Gaming Lounge, Dave.
Hello.
So, what's your thoughts then, dude, on the release of, well, the information that we have so far?
Yeah, there's not a lot of information so far, to be fair. I'm excited. I don't know how I feel about Brock being a cover star. I thought they could have given it to someone else, but
I get that, but if you look at the marketing genius of 2K, because he's the only star to have not only been the cover star already for WWE, he's also been the cover star for UFC, and has now returned to be the cover star again for WWE.
True.
He is one of the biggest draws in wrestling. This Saturday, in fact, he is going to be going up against a gentleman called Mark Hunt at UFC 200.
Yes.
They have now been upgraded to the main event because John Jones has been taken out of the main event for, I think, doping reasons. So now an active WWE wrestler is going to star at the biggest UFC event ever. That's never been done before.
No.
So I think this is genius for WWE.
Yeah.
On a promotional standpoint, because a few weeks after, he's going to be against Randy Orton at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
And at the time of recording the footage that we're watching right now,
we didn't know that.
We didn't know that, so that was absolutely genius.
So yeah, bit of a coincidence, but it's our job to try and predict these things, and we got it right this time.
Yes, we did.
So, when's it out, dude? When can we expect
this?
This?
We can expect the initial release, so the American release, will be on the 11th of October, so I would imagine a couple of days in between that for the UK and Europe.
Typically we get it like a couple of days later, so.
Also, for those that are interested, and I will definitely be one of these people, if you pre-order the game, which I believe is pre-orderable currently, I believe
so, yeah.
Goldberg will be, regardless of your thoughts on, pre-order bonuses, inverted commas, you'll get Goldberg, so you'll be able to make,
which is awesome.
Yes.
What's it been, 10 years since Goldberg?
Yes, and the last match that he had was with Brock Lesnar.
Just as a side note, 11th of October is a Tuesday, so I reckon we'll get it on the following Friday, the 14th.
So mark that date as a possible date.
Yeah, possible date for us in the UK is Friday the 14th.
Yes,
potentially.
I think with the inclusion of Goldberg, it would be interesting because, as you say, there isn't a lot of information about what the features are actually going to be.
No. So we should point out, guys, that from this point on, it is pure rumour and speculation.
Yeah.
This is nothing concrete. It's firstly, what we've heard, and secondly, what we would like.
Yeah, well, what we would wish to be rather than anything that we know for certain.
Yeah, so these are like educated guesses, but they are just guesses, guys.
Yes.
So yeah. So come on, what have we got?
Right, so showcase mode for last year was universally panned.
It was terrible.
It was.
It was so bad. So I think it's safe to assume that showcase mode is going to come back.
Yeah, in some form. Hopefully they mess with it a bit, make it better.
Yeah.
Have a story-driven kind of, instead of reliving matches, make it more story-driven. I guess, I don't know.
I've just had a thought, because obviously Brock's the cover star.
Yeah.
And you're on about like reliving. What if they do like a separate showcase, showcasing like the history of Brock
Yeah.
in the WWE and
Yeah, I
have
get
all his historic matches, like against the Big Show when Heyman turned his back on him initially. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
That man, just something like that.
But there was so many matches on SmackDown back then. You know, buried alive with Taker and all
Yeah.
different kind of things.
Oh, but that's the thing. What game modes do you reckon are going to be in it?
Oh, I mean, I'd love to see Buried Alive back.
Yeah, I would.
Matches. Casket matches, they were good.
Maybe not Inferno.
No. Inferno, it was enjoyable, but it was for what its time and.
I mean, give 2K credit. An Inferno match is hard to implement in a game.
Yeah, absolutely.
On telly it looks ace, but in a game with the mechanics that they've got, it's going to be difficult.
Yes, absolutely. I think personally, we're pretty much certain that my career is going to come back, which has been exclusive for the last couple of years to the current gen of consoles.
PS4 and Xbox One.
Yes. So, unfortunately, last gen consoles, I've got the game, but they've had a lesser version of the game. Unfortunately for those people, I think that will continue. I'm not too sure.
That's a good point, because you said before we started recording that 2K17 is again going to be available on PS3 and Xbox 360 as well as PS4 and Xbox One. Do you think it's going to be the same again, where it's going to be exclusive to current gen?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I'd be surprised if it wasn't, and it'd be a pleasant surprise for people that are still on last gen.
Yeah.
To have that My Career mode.
I'm surprised that it's on last gen.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Because if we look at it in terms of PS2 versus PS3, when that PS3 came out, I think we got one more game on the PS2 when the PlayStation 3 first came out.
Yeah.
And then after that, it was expected that everybody had upgraded. So, it's interesting that the way I look at it with WWE is that WWE now is branded almost exclusively to kids.
Yeah.
Well, at least Raw and SmackDown and all that sort of stuff. So maybe looking at it from that point of view, release it on every console possible.
Well, from a marketing point of view, you're going to get the maximum amount of sales.
Yeah, exactly.
So that makes sense, I guess.
But a part that's not just marketed to children is, and this is something that is really, really exciting to me if they implement it.
If they do.
Yeah, is the so-called new era of wrestling, the NXT stars, the indie stars that are coming through.
Yeah.
For me, that's important to capitalize on that positive energy within wrestling right now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what's your thoughts on that?
I think it can only ever be a good thing.
Yeah.
Because for a while now, the main sort of gripe that people had with wrestling in general is it's too stale. It's like become stagnant, and it's the same. It's like much of a muchness. It's the same old crap, basically. Yeah. So I think an influx of new stars. I mean, I was overjoyed. I was going to say that's a bit extreme, but I was so excited when NXT first got announced. NXT has proven its worth, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely.
I really, really hope that in 2K17 NXT gets more of a feature.
Yeah.
Because I felt personally like in the last one, it was like a last minute addition.
Yeah,
it was tacked on. It was like, oh, by the way, we've got this amazing. Oh, by the way, NXT kind of like on the side. So I'm hoping that in this one, it's more of a main.
Yeah, absolutely. Thing. Especially for, long-time wrestling fans, I would go on record and say that NXT is the more wrestling-centric product.
Yeah.
You've got some amazing stars in NXT, the likes of, Shinsuke Nakamura, for example.
Yep.
One of the greatest Japanese wrestlers. And I saw him fairly recently at NXT Live Tour, and this guy is an absolute rock star.
Oh, you went?
Yeah.
You lucky little...
Fantastic. But then the other stars, the mainstays of NXT, you've got, Bayley, who's another one of the four horsewomen.
Yeah.
The women that weren't in the previous game, and there was a massive uproar about it.
Yeah, I was so annoyed because they included some.
Yeah.
Of the NXT, but then not others, and I'm like, well, how when making that decision, how do you decide who to include and who not to include?
Yes.
I mean, Bailey was at the time. Bailey was and still is one of the biggest stars in NXT,
Exactly.
and they didn't include it. And it's like, well, really. And Finn Balor, like,
Yeah.
I love Finn Balor.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I do. I can't believe he's not been called up yet.
But he was another one, going back to, again, being a wrestling aficionado, he was one of the people behind what WWE call the club, but is known as the Bullet Club.
Yeah.
We've got Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson with AJ Styles on Raw.
Yep.
Why is Finn Balor not there? You know, and I mean, he's amazing. He's amazing in NXT. Finn Balor will almost certainly be in the game. There's no question about that.
Yeah. I reckon Bailey will as well. Finally.
Yeah, Bailey will definitely be in. They've all but confirmed that there'll be Bailey, there'll be Sasha Banks, Charlotte, and Becky Lynch.
I'll be happy with like a full NXT roster.
I mean, I will go on record. You've heard it here first. I will go on record and say they broke records last year with 2K. They said it was the biggest roster possible.
Yeah.
I think they're going to break it again.
I do.
I really do. Because
well, it's rumoured to have at least 120. At least.
It wouldn't surprise me is every single current NXT star that's on NXT television is in the game. Now that'd be amazing if it was.
Yeah.
I don't expect it, but it'd be fantastic.
Yeah, one thing I am excited about is obviously we've got the new game modes, we've got the new grapplers, I'm going to call them. We touched on modes before, like with the showcase mode and all that lot.
Yes.
GM mode apparently.
Yeah.
General mode?
GM mode is something that has been going around the internet for a little while.
Yeah.
That we'd love to see a return.
Because we kind of had it with the My Universe.
Yeah.
Kind of. You could create shows and stuff like that. But the thing I loved about like full on GM mode was like it was a full GM mode. Like your wrestlers could get injured. You had to sort of factor in that.
Yes.
And then you had ratings for your shows, and you had to try and put on the best show possible. If they integrated that into maybe as like a feature that you could turn on or off.
Yeah.
If they integrated that into my universe, I will be a happy man.
Yeah.
Because they tried, but it wasn't in depth enough for me. I wanted more.
And it adds to my next point, because I could see GM mode working again from a gaming standpoint, because in WWE itself they are bringing back the brand extension.
Yes, they are.
They are
bringing back the brand split, people.
So the current WWE champion, who is Dean Ambrose, was until very recently considered the WWE World Heavyweight Champion.
Yep.
Slowly that's been removed. He's now just the WWE Champion.
Champion.
So I would suggest they're bringing the World Heavyweight title back.
I don't want them to.
No, but they're going to bring back separate titles. For some will be brand exclusive, others will be cross-brand.
Yeah.
I personally think the WWE title should be cross-brand, but
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
But
so do you reckon that'll be a feature in the? I'm trying to think of how to word this. Do you reckon it'll be a purposely built feature in the game that 2K are going to implement? Or do you reckon it's going to be something that we're going to have to do ourselves in universe mode?
It would depend, I think, on whether WWE have known about the brand extension for a little while.
Well, they've known about it certainly since like earlier this year.
Yeah, so it's whether they've given 2K long enough to be able to add it as a feature. It will almost certainly be in whatever the game's called next year, be it 18 or whatever. But whether it'll be in this game, I'm not too sure. I would hope so.
I mean, like we say, even if it's not, you can kind of do it yourself in universe mode anyway, so it wouldn't be such a bad thing.
That's it. What else?
So the brand split for the WWE live events, I believe it's happening July 19th.
Yes.
Which is going to be amazing because for the first time ever, SmackDown's going live as well.
Yeah.
So that is going to be like just epic.
It'll be amazing because you'll have 3 hours of Raw on a Monday, and I believe 2 hours of SmackDown on a Tuesday.
Yep.
That's amazing. Not to mention then NXT on a Wednesday. You'll have wrestling every day, which is absolutely fantastic.
Plus, it's like all bunched up at the start of the week, and then the wrestlers get like extended weekends. Obviously, they'll be doing other bits, but it gives them time to rest.
Exactly,
it?
exactly. And I think it's good going forward because for many years now, SmackDown has kind of been an afterthought. There hasn't been much of a reason to tune in.
I know.
But bringing the brand expansion back gives people an interest in SmackDown again.
Does.
So I for one am extremely excited about that.
Yeah.
The other thing that I wanted to talk about, being that Brock Lesnar is the cover star, is wouldn't it be interesting if there was some kind of Paul Heyman mode, be it Paul Heyman guy mode, or a showcase on Paul Heyman's career as a manager in ECW or in WCW or anywhere.
They could do that now, couldn't they?
Yeah.
WWE own the rights, so there's nothing stopping them doing that.
That would be really interesting, and it would be a way to bring in a lot of the ECW stars as either downloadable content or as already there characters.
Yeah.
You know, Sabu, the Sandman, or Tommy Dreamer, those type of people.
Yeah.
That would be absolutely tremendous.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming that a number of those will be like DLC.
Yes.
Speaking of which, I sincerely hope the DLC this year is better than last year's attempt.
Because I would hope, even if people like Shinsuke Nakamura are not in the actual game because of when he signed with WWE, that potentially he is in as a DLC.
Hopefully.
Because that would be amazing.
But yeah, if they link that in with maybe the Heyman sort of like showcase, I guess that'll be cool. That'll be cool.
Because WWE don't seem resistant anymore to the concept of indie stars and those type of things. So I mean, what you got to remember about Paul Heyman is Paul Heyman was never afraid to take risks.
No.
Hey, look at the people that Paul Heyman has endorsed. I mean, Brock Lesnar is legitimately one of the baddest, in a good way, one of the baddest people in wrestling.
Yeah.
He is the beast incarnate. He's legitimately a tough guy. I mean, he was the guy that...
I think, arguably, he's the biggest sports entertainer in the world, to coin a phrase. So,
absolutely.
At the minute.
Someone that has got such crossover appeal that he's going to headline UFC as well.
Yeah. Who else can headline UFC and WWE in the space of a month?
No, nobody else could do it. Nobody else.
So,
And Paul Heyman is such a big factor, at least in Brock Lesnar's life personally and in his WWE life, that it would be a travesty, as far as I'm concerned, not to include him in some way in the game.
Yeah, he's such an influential character.
Absolutely.
Such an influential character. He is, I hope they do.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Do you reckon they'll go from like super heavyweights to the little guys, the cruiserweights?
The cruiserweights. See, this is another thing that's coming up, which is very exciting to me. You've got the Cruiserweight Classic.
Cruiserweight Classic's going to be awesome. Will it be in the game?
I would hope so. I would hope that something like that in the game would be amazing. It would absolutely be tremendous.
I miss. Do you remember SmackDown 2 when you had like all of them and you could just go nuts? Bring back the Hardcore Champion. Bring back the European Champion. Bring back the Cruiserweights. goddammit.
There's a lot of potential. I think that's the word now.
Yeah,
potential.
I'm excited for this game.
I am.
I didn't think I would be. I genuinely didn't think I would be. I thought it would just be like a rehash of an old game again, same as FIFA does every year. But no, I'm genuinely excited for this game.
I am myself. I'm very excited, and feel free to let us know what you think, what you're expecting, what you're hoping for in the next game.
Yep.
And please, if you like the video, definitely give us a like and give us your comments and let us know your thoughts. Do you want to mention yours as well?
Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, guys. Paul does a lot of stuff like this as well. If you're into games and stuff, don't forget to jump over onto my channel, Dave's Gaming Lounge. Give that a view.
Absolutely.
But yeah, feel free, hit us up in the comments. Let us know what you're expecting, what you're excited about. And when will I see you again, dude?
We will probably be doing another video in the next couple of days.
Awesome.
Thanks for joining me today and
No
chatting about wrestling. Awesome.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Take care, you guys, and we'll talk to you again soon.